Moving on, we now have an expert talk on the topic Enterprise Grade Cloud at Scale, What's Next? Where our speaker will talk about the next set of issues that need to be addressed in enterprises that are already on their cloud journey, patterns and solutions from leaders of the industry, operating models for solving enterprise polycloud at scale, and what this means for enterprise and their providers. Our speaker for this session this morning is Prashant Kelker, partner ISG. A brief introduction: Prashant leads ISG's digital advisory services and is the Chief Strategy Officer of ISG. He works with enterprises to shape their operating models for a digital journey and brings 25 years of expertise in all aspects of applications and platforms, from designing transformations through the whole sourcing life cycle. It's a pleasure to have you join us this morning. Prashant, over to you.
Thank you, Justin, for the introduction. Today, I'm here to talk about not just cloud strategy and cloud maturity. I want to share something else. I want to share what we are seeing when you're halfway through the journey, when large organizations are midway through their cloud strategy and maturity. Because what we are seeing there has nothing to do with migration plans. If you ask our clients, they would say cloud has largely delivered on its promise. It's just no one expected the invoice to double. So as we do that, let's look at what we are actually seeing on the ground. We think that this has mostly happened because of the entire topic around cloud being cloud first. Transformation programs started having words like cloud first, cloud right. I think as an entire ecosystem, we started putting technology first. If you actually look at what our clients have achieved on the promise of cloud, these are the 6 topics which have come up. And you can see the word cloud just doesn't come up. They talk about new business models and aftermarket revenue streams. They talk about customer experience and lifetime value. They talk about intelligent operations, process, and tech landscape. They even start talking about how you come together as partners and an ecosystem. So maybe it's time to pivot away from words like cloud strategy and cloud migration and cloud first and put the business outcome first. Cloud should just be the enabler, because our leaders in cloud adoption don't start with the word cloud. So the entire topics which we used to hear in 2019, 2020 have changed. The 2022 language going forward has moved away from saying cloud and cloud first to knowing that cloud is pervasive, but we just have to use the right cloud. The entire language has moved away from technology first language like cloud first, AI language, AI first, towards business outcome first. And as a result, it's not just cloud and centralized cloud, it's cloud plus edge plus IoT plus PaaS. So I think we are moving away from unintentional multi-cloud. Some organizations don't even know which versions and which flavors of cloud they have, towards a world which is much more intentional and knowing that there's not one solution to a problem, but there are multiple flavors and intentional polycloud. And moving away from cloud being the area of one department to a very federated operating model. But in the midst of all of that, enterprises have also been overcommitted to cloud. Large transformation programs have led to large contractual agreements with a lot of commitments on consumption. But if you study what's actually happened in enterprises, the standard lift and shift has happened, and everybody is hitting the wall that we call 18-22, because 18 to 22% of the workloads can move quickly and easily. After that, every single thing has to be re-architected. And re-architecting applications is possible technically. It's just very, very expensive. And you can't justify this expense unless you have a business transformation. And business transformations can't be predicted. So you start seeing what happens. Business transformations come and go. You're trying to do your best to do cloud transformation in the midst of business transformation. And as a result, you're chipping away slowly at your cloud strategy. It's very difficult to manage demand and capacity there, which in terms of financials means it's very difficult to manage spend and consumption. So if you ask our Fortune 500 clients, they're struggling with anticipating spend, managing demand, and then trying to correlate capacity with consumption. And as a result, they're struggling. And I can't blame them. I also find it a little unfair what the cloud providers are being put through because now the demands on them have increased. And here's a survey across our Fortune 500 clients when we spoke to them about what are they encountering when they adopt enterprise cloud at scale. And I don't want to drain this slide, but I want to call out three just by way of example. Check the first example out. They say they need to be more transparent in their pricing. You see, it has nothing to do with technology, nothing to do with cloud strategy or migration. It's about what happens when I'm in the cloud. What does it do to my pricing? What does it do to my invoicing? What does it do to my chargeback, showback? Those are the new opportunities and challenges in a cloud world. Check the next example. They say they don't have diverse products as per our industry requirements. The entire world and topic around cloud has moved away from managed OS and storage and compute. Now there is a demand for industry-specific solutions. We are entering now an era where industry cloud is becoming real. Check the third example. Overly complex very expensive, a control panel which one can't understand. I don't think this is a technology situation. I think it's a financial situation. So you start seeing a crowd sprawl across our Fortune 500, which has been driven over the last 4 or 5 years, and rightly so, with the right cloud strategy, with the right cloud migration plans. Everybody's hit this wall of 18, 20, 22. And now we have a sprawl of cloud with no link to business outcomes. Teams are struggling to show the tangible ROI to their cloud investments. And once they are in the cloud, they're not able to link the cloud costs to the business outcomes. There's no one-to-one chargeback, no one-to-one transfer. And as a result, crowd sprawl, so multiple cloud solutions, is rapidly driving up cloud costs. Some of our clients are complaining about the invoice almost doubling. And then how do you manage that spend? Because it's a continuous spend. It's not like a contract which you can sign up for the next 4 or 5 years. It goes up and down. What are the tools to manage it? We're seeing our clients struggle with managing this with a plethora of tools, sometimes 4 to 6. These, I think, are the new challenges and the new opportunities that we need to solve for. It's good to know that this is coming ahead of the curve because we as a community, we can solve for this because things are just about to get slightly worse. It's not just storage and compute in cloud. There's polycloud and 5G edge coming. There's private 5G and MEC. People are talking about dynamic fog and mesh architectures. And the entire topic of cloud has started leaving what I call the carpeted floor. It's moving into rugged terrain, concrete floors. There are mobile endpoints like drones, robots. There is edge analytics. These devices are getting smarter. There's embedded analytics, and all of these analytics and findings and insights have to flow back into the organization. So maybe we should also expand the word cloud to mean more than just storage and compute, because there's edge, which could be looked at as far edge and near edge. There are multiple new endpoints as operational technology is coming live, as operational technology is getting smarter and getting connected. And as they get smarter and connected, there is embedded and tiny ML. So we got to start looking at end-to-end connected architectures and design for the new substrate, which brings this end-to-end architecture to life. Which brings me to a very interesting point. Where does this leave a topic like cybersecurity? Is it one topic? Is it one department? We think it's not. We think enterprise architecture and cybersecurity come together. Cybersecurity is in each of these layers. It's in cloud, it's in edge, it's in endpoints. When an enterprise is designing for its digital thread and digital twin, it's in every aspect of this. So even cybersecurity, which one tends to ignore when one talks about cloud, becomes a continuous choice. Unfortunately, it's being treated as its own topic. At best, it's treated along with network with the word SASE. But we think cybersecurity is an organization-wide topic. It's every single department. It's every single department trying to figure out, do I run the business or do I protect the business? Because it's a choice. There are lots of flavors when you go from left to right. If you're going from lower protection and defensibility, it opens up the business to new partnerships. If you close it, you protect the business. There are use cases across this continuum. So even cybersecurity becomes a very federated choice. Now imagine, put yourself in the chair of a Fortune 500 firm. Cybersecurity is a federated choice. Cloud becomes a federated choice. There's IoT, there's edge. All of this is coming together. There's a sprawl. Invoices have doubled. We think that's the world we need to solve for, because that's not all. It's not just about the three hyperscalers. It's not just about the storage and compute. Large telecom providers have ambitious plans about the network. When we think about a telco, we think 5G. If we're lucky, we think MEC. We think maybe they have plans for IoT. We start hearing things like cloudlets and fog computing. But we think this is the future. We think telcos are going to step into this area too and start saying it's not just about 5G and MEC. It's about connected supply chains. It's us enabling digital thread and digital twin. It's us enabling connected and embedded devices, real-time grid network platforms, the ability to contain and connect value chains across an organization after it has left the carpeted floor. You start seeing there's more than just one player. So we think actually that it's all about all of this coming together and also having one foot in the future, because here comes Web3. And it's easy to take a step back. And I know Web3 is going to a little bit of winter. Frankly, I'm a little happy because it takes the froth out of the market. But we as a community, we need to think about Web3 as more than just NFTs and pictures of apes. There's much more than that. No one is talking about the protocol world of Web3. Protocols are a very important thing. HTTP is a protocol. It gave us the internet. SMTP is a protocol. It gave us email. It changed the way we work. Web3 is a world of protocols. So if we put our cloud hat back on and take a step back and start thinking in terms of what good technologies do, and that is to think in terms of workloads. We are used to enterprise workloads, Web 1. We're now getting used to workloads where we use touch points and location and bringing community together, Web 2. We need to start thinking about workloads which talk about trust, currency, and digital assets, Web 3. So as we design for the future, cloud architectures will go from left to right. It's not going to be all Web 3. So we think actually connected transformation in a hyper-connected economy going forward needs a new substrate. And that substrate is more than just saying cloud. It's bringing together four worlds. The world of what we already know, connected enterprise technology, and three brand new worlds. And those worlds are operational technology, all the boilers in the plants, the machines on the shop floor, connected customer technology, the watches we wear, the cars that are connected, and then the value chain technology, where B2B firms come together and exchange information at real time. Thanks to not just cloud, but also connectivity, these four worlds are starting to come together and even merge. The opportunities are on the areas where they touch each other. It's where all these four circles come together, and that becomes the new digital thread. It's the world of secure, intelligent, connected economies. And if we take the topic of cloud and expand it and said that this is the new substrate that we need to solve for, this is what we call size. Except that on the ground, it starts getting cut up. Hybrid cloud platforms being designed for being bought separately. IoT and connected products are being bought and partnered for and structured and implemented separately. And then there is a cybersecurity department which is solving on its own. We as a community, we need to think about how all of this, thinking about all of these topics as silos. You need to think about business outcome first and say which parts of this entire architecture do we bring to life, slice by slice, piece by piece, always looking at the ROI, always looking at what a poly-cloud solution looks like. So if we come together as a community, we'll be solving for not just cloud strategy and migration. We'll be taking business outcomes and saying, what are we designing for? Throughput, flexibility, risk, compliance, maybe intelligent insights that we can monetize. How do we govern all of this together? What does that brand new substrate look like? So actually, if you look at it, cloud at scale, therefore, becomes a moving target. If you're going into the next 2 to 3 years and you start looking at cloud not just as storage and compute, but all the things I've spoken for over the last 10 to 15 minutes, we have to get ready as a community for much, much more. Ecosystems are going to change. It's not just external ecosystems of many to many. It's going to change inside the organizations of our clients too. There's going to be an internal ecosystem. All our clients are planning for APIs, API first, exposing interfaces, making money off interfaces. This is going to make partnerships critical. It's much more than just storage and compute on how to go to cloud. It's much more about what I bring to life in cloud and how do I bring it together. And to design for security, for throughput, for flexibility and risk. Because this is not just about cloud. It's about assets as a service. Assets as a service coming to life because they are connected. And as they get connected, they become the ways to create annuity revenue streams. And we need to watch out for one thing coming down the curve. The minute an asset turns from an asset into an asset as a service, cloud and the entire substrate becomes part of cost of goods sold, COGS. And we all know from the industry what happens to COGS. The pressure comes down on COGS unless you're able to justify the spend. So as we look forward as a community, it would be really, really great if we stop saying cloud first and security first and network first and SASE first and start using business outcome language. And there's not always one business outcome. There's a portfolio of business outcomes. We've got to help our clients manage this portfolio of business outcomes and invest like a VC, because that will take us away from just standard programs, following agile ceremonies, which I call doing agile, to actually getting used to continuous transformation on a runway, which is an intelligent substrate, the new cloud, because that is being agile instead of doing agile. At the same time, we have to get used to coming away from the stranglehold of a few solutions. There are not just 3 or 4 solutions in the market. I think we are entering a world where we will see industry cloud. We will see purpose-built infrastructure like AI on edge. We're going towards best of breed, bespoke, purpose-built substrates. So if we put our thinking caps on and design for our clients, we got to stop thinking about just IT. We got to start thinking about OT, operational technology, CT, consumer technology, and ET, engineering technology. So I hope what I was able to do today was to show you that it's not just about cloud strategy and migration. I think we are beyond that topic. All our clients are already midway. We have to solve for the next continuum. And what better platform than NASSCOM to do this? Thank you. And I hope I was able to bring the message through. Over to you, Justin.
Thank you, Prashant, for that informative session.